Indian news from a kwaba a sign at the back and Casafidino a superior. Then you know, say the politics, the governance, the whether NDC, MPP, the Mufua. Na get some SC and show and a bro, any bushim capra. Na say no Ghana, I should papa is son a free bread, a bansasa, and as about walk of small bansasa. Dan in a force yantins and for further each. And yet not in some for be SC, I was say also so to me at be now there was so and so at ye. Na said the kind of sakako, the Kokuano, and so the ya the American Simbia, the feature. Ya couldn't put things in brother. That's what the comments. About abuse, subscribe to your channel. No, now so that all other relevant news are found these Ghanaian politics. Yin things in Mimbra. My refuse subscribe to your channel. No, so that all other relevant news are opposite with it. Yin things in Mimbra. For commenting, so bra. If you can also adventure.
Public for a good reason. The Attorney General, the learned Dominic Ayine, is still prosecuting Kwabena Adu Boahen in public. And I say in public for a good reason. Let me begin the story now. The reason why this is a national security matter is that when you are prosecuting somebody who held the position of Kwabena Adu Boahen, you are actually prosecuting the national security. And it's hardly ever done. And hold on, let me land. You get what I'm saying. Kwabena Adu Boahen was working for national security. In working for national security, they do all kinds of things that we are not supposed to know. We being the ordinary citizens, we are not supposed to know. And they do that because their responsibility is to make sure that national security is not just policing and gun and all of that. Their responsibility is to make sure that the WASI exam happen seamlessly. That's their responsibility. It's national security's responsibility to make sure that Asante Kotoko and Hasofo game at the Accra Sports Stadium is seamless. There are no people, nobody dies. National security's responsibility, it is that when there's no water in Damango, it's a national security matter. It is national security's matter when the Asante Hine is celebrating Akwesi Dai. It's a national security matter. The protection of the president's household is a national security matter. If the president has an important person in his life and the person is living at some place, national security can advise that because this person is so important to the president, either as a policy advisor or something like that, the person must move from this place and come and stay here. National security pays for it. So the things that national security do, we are not supposed to know, because when we get to know, it will take away the effect, the authority of the national security. It is for this reason that you wouldn't find that let me see the historical photographs. Even when there are hostile changes in government, even when there's a coup d'etat, here is Commander Sasijima, who once occupied national security positions. Now here is Totobi Kwachi, who was a national security couple. Oh, you didn't get me Captain Chikata's photograph. Sorry, it's not there. I think we didn't add it to the list. Captain Kojo Chikata. Now, Totobi Kwachi took over from Captain Chikata. Now, so when Totobi Kwachi took over from Captain Chikata, Totobi Kwachi is not going to ask Captain Chikata that, let me audit how you protected J.J. Rawlings. He's not going to ask that question. Even if he's asking that question, we won't know. We shouldn't know. He will deal with Captain Chikata that, Captain, but I don't understand this. I saw Bevlo Latte there. Let me see Bevlo Latte. So Bevlo Latte was 1999, 2000. He came back in 2009. So from Bevlo Latte, it came to Francis Poku. Good. Francis Poku here, former senior police DCOP, who became the national security officer after Bevlo Latte and Totobi Kwachi. Bevlo Latte actually was commander of the 64 Infantry Battalion in those days. And then Totobi Kwachi was Minister for National Security. And then they handed over to Francis Poku. Francis Poku will not say that Totobi Kwachi should come and render accounts on how he protected J.J. Rawlings, on how he protected Mrs. Rawlings, or how he conducted peaceful Akwesi or how he conducted chieftaincy disputes, or how the Takrade girls were saved because he saw some money and he wants to know. And they don't do that. They really don't do that. They don't have that conversation. I mean, you remember the 2017 incident. It's a national security matter, but I think we didn't realize that. And the matter came out, and many senior MPP people told me that they regret that situation. It was a very private conversation between the outgoing president, John Dramani Mahama, and the incoming president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. It was about a house. And the outgoing president, John Dramani Mahama, has said that I want to live in this house. This is where I've lived since I was vice president. If it pleases you, can I stay here? Apparently, there was an agreement, and the Asante Hine was involved in all of that. Later on, the hawks in the MPP party said that we had won the election. He didn't win the election. He got only 44%. How does he decide? Wait, he should clear off from the house. When an agreement had been established between the outgoing president and the incoming president, the hawks came in and said, John Mahama should pack his things and leave the house. All of that. Somehow, regrettably, the pressure stayed, and John Mahama decided that he doesn't want any of these things. He's leaving. I remember in those days, I had a conversation with somebody. Now, at that time, I was really in the middle, and I know what I'm talking about. Some people know as well. In those days, if you were standing with John Mahama for 10 minutes, he will get about 4 phone calls of people offering him houses. I was standing there. His phone was ringing like that. He has an outgone president. He was still in the house. There was pressure that he should leave. Drones were flying over the house, taking pictures. And he was getting phone calls. Oh, Your Excellency, I have a 2-house at the airport. Let's come and look at it and choose one. What is this they are doing in Ghana? I have a friend who is, I think I'm older than him. Young man, I don't want to mention his name. He saw me there and said, but Paul, why are your people doing that? What is this? And I said, Charlie, this is a big matter. He said, even I can give JM a house. Even me, I can give JM a house. What's his house? What is the point? And I remember, I saw the disappointment on John Mahama's face. And he said, it doesn't matter. Let's go. I mean, there's no problem. So that, and later on, some people told me that I went to one of the important people. Again, I don't want to mention. I asked him that, but Gaps, what's happening? What's there? They said, well, I mean, the Hawks came in and this is so disappointing. This was the home that eventually Dr. Bawumia lived in and left. And at that time, they were building something for the vice president. This was a clear national security conversation that the rest of Ghana was unaware of. And as it should be, the rest of Ghana should be unaware of a situation like that. Now, if you start asking Kwabena Adu Boahen that, the money that you took here and there, what happened? That's when he will start saying in public that I gave the money to the parliamentary committee. I gave the money to the Attorney General who is prosecuting me. He himself benefited from the money. The Attorney General didn't benefit illegally from the money. He was a chairman of a committee of parliament. Money was given to the committee of parliament. That's fine. But the Attorney General may not have known at the time where the money came from, because Kwabena Adu Boahen did not hand the money over to the committee of parliament. He didn't do that. He was responsible for the money and probably handed it over to the speaker or deputy speaker, and that was for the benefit of the members of the committee. So now you are prosecuting him. He tells you that the 20 cedis in your pocket, it is that money that you are prosecuting. And then all of Ghana is saying, hey, so committee members take money. That's what happened 2 weeks ago. It is part of a national security apparatus. It's part of a national security operation to keep the republic afloat. That's why you are a Republic of Ghana, because you have a backbone called national security that keeps the republic afloat. If the president calls the national security minister and says that, why is there no water in Damango? Charlie, hurry up and go and do it. He calls Ghana Water. What do you have? Say, Charlie, we have some turbines and some things that are not working. If we get 16 million cedis, we will be able to fix it. He goes, Mr. President, they need 16 million. Say, yeah, go ahead and do it. Call Bank of Ghana. The 16 million cedis, they won't write it as Ghana. I've already discussed that classification and declassification. They'll write it as something. When Francis Poku comes to take over, he doesn't go to Gwevlo Lati and say, but you, the 200 million that you spent on the Rolling Stone, what was it about? He doesn't publish it. He can talk to Gwevlo like that, but he doesn't come and publish it to the whole world. Because if you do that, then you are reducing the effects of national security. And that's really where we are today. If the prosecution of Kwabena Adu Boahen continues, that's what is going to happen. We are going to have so much in the public domain that we don't want. I'm sure some people are watching me, young men are watching and say, hey, national security, yes, you can hear Juma. That's fine. There's no problem with that. And young people who want to go to national security, if you read Jeffrey Archer's books, Shall We Tell the President, First Among Equals, he discusses, especially in Shall We Tell the President. You can Google it, Shall We Tell the President by Jeffrey Archer. Very good book. Shall We Tell the President is about an American, first female American president. It's a bit of fiction. First female American president who was going to give her first sessional address, and they had agreed to, there was some machination to assassinate her, and it's a whole national security operation working to pick up the people who wanted to assassinate the president, because they appeared that they were very inner circle to the party that had won the election, which was the Republican Party that Jeffrey Archer was writing about. If you read that book, you will see the different things that national security classify their work as. They are doing their work, but they classify it differently. So if you come and say that What was this money for? So this money was given to Fly Lieutenant Rawlings when he was traveling to the Volta region. He wanted to go to the Volta region, come back the same day. Then he went to Lomé, and then he went to Côte d'Ivoire, and then he had all of these things. So this is the money that was given to him. We don't come and prosecute that in court. The question then is, are you therefore saying the national security can do what they like and blow our money and go away? No, certainly not. Why? Because within the national security context, they have what they call rogue elements, and they know how to deal with them. If the government comes today, the government of President John Dramani Mahama, here's Albert Kandapa, I'll tell you a story about him. The government of John Dramani Mahama come today, and they see that, this Adu Boahen boy was a problem. They will get national security Razak or national security apparatus. It could be Prosper Bani, Kofi Boache, whoever, and they call him and say, what's wrong with you? Why did you do this? Listen, those your 7 houses that you use the money to buy, we are confiscating it. Go and bring the cars. We, the general public, will not know. They will confiscate the houses, they will confiscate the cars, and they become national security property. And that's why they have safe houses all over the place. A lot of the safe houses are confiscated. National security, that is their operations in camera. Very, very important. In camera and surreptitious. It has to be so because that is the backbone of the republic. There are national security installations that only the president and the vice president know. I don't know. Maybe I walk in front of it. I don't know it's a national security installation. Until Colonel Gaddafi came to Ghana in 2007, a lot of us journalists didn't know that there's something called Australia House. We didn't know. Should I show you what Australia House is? I won't show you. Every day you pass there, you don't know. That's Australia House. It's a major national security installation. You pass there every day, you don't know. When Gaddafi came, and some of us journalists were selected to go and see him, and they said, why are we going to see him? They drove past the Christ the King. I said, where is Gaddafi? Say, he's in Australia. What's the day? They took us to some place, huge compound. When you are walking by the streets, you just see trees, so you don't see it. And Colonel Gaddafi was in a tent over there. Beautiful man, very kind-hearted looking. Colonel Gaddafi, I saw him personally, one-on-one. And not just me, but there were other people there. And he was living in some tent, and they put the tent on the compound because he didn't want to live in the building because of his own security consciousness. So that's national security. You won't know that that's a national security installation. Maybe you live in Laboni. The house next to you is a national security installation. You won't know. We shouldn't know. So when you go and catch Kwame Adu Boahen and says that, what was the money for? I said, the money that we used to buy the furniture for the national security installation at number 6 Fort Circular. The whole Ghana knows. It's in court. Everybody, number 6 Fort Circular. That's why I've been seeing police motors going there. We don't need to know that because it's the backbone of the republic. So this prosecution of national security in the public, where people are saying that, but if he has done something wrong because of that, he's hiding behind national security. He's hiding behind national security. He is not hiding behind national security. If national security feel that he has a problem, they have ways of dealing with it, and they've done it so many times, and they can do it. This prosecution of an attorney general comes in and says that this prosecution by an attorney general who comes in and says that press conference, national security man, Kwame Adu Boahen, he used 49 million to do this. When we asked him, he said he gave it to members of parliament. On so and so date, why must we know what members of parliament got or what members of parliament didn't get? If Kwame Adu Boahen has done something, surely Razak, the national security coordinator, the national security apparatus, they know how to deal with him. It shouldn't be a trial in the public because that is destroying the backbone. And that's what all of these men agree with. Francis Poku agrees with that. Bevlo Latte agrees with that. Totobi Kwachi agrees with that. Asasi Jima agrees with that. Everyone agrees with the principle that this process must be held in camera, away from prosecution, away from Criminal Procedure 29, away from Criminal Code 29 and Criminal Procedure 30. Criminal Offences Act 29 and Criminal Procedure Act 30. You don't prosecute national security in 29 and 30. You don't do that. There are ways of dealing with it.